Roll call, please.
Councilmember Alexander. Here. Councilmember Brandon. Here. Councilmember Brinker.
Here.
Councilmember Conklin.
Here.
Councilmember Missouri. Councilmember Stevenson.
Here.
Mayor Long.
Here. Approval of the minutes of the July 21st regular meeting.
I am looking for one. I'll second.
Motion for a second. Any questions or comments on the motion? Call for the vote.
Councilmember Alexander.
Yes.
Councilmember Brandon.
Yes.
Councilmember Brinker.
Yes.
Councilmember Conklin.
Yes.
Councilmember Stevenson.
Yes.
Mayor Long.
Yes. Other comments and requests, residents, city tax.
My name is Niles Mansoris, live on Renova Road. I've been, just in way of an update, I've been out of town for the last 2, maybe 3 weeks, and prior to me leaving, I talked to the city solicitor, Mr. Hauser, and I had a few technical items on the through the fence agreement. When I got back, so far, evidently, one of them was resolved. Most of these have nothing really to do with through the fence. It's just technical things. The one was had to do with land ownership and that was resolved, and I do appreciate that. I think we're slowly working in the right direction. The other thing, which actually I haven't physically seen, but I've heard, I've come home, there's a sign, a no trespassing sign on the airport from my property onto the airport. And I don't have a problem with that. And I will abide by that until we get a signed agreement. As I said before, you guys, I have a little antique airplane, and I fly it a handful of times a year. The only people it doesn't hurt me at all to not have to fly it until we get things resolved. The only people it does hurt a little bit is, like last year, this time, there was a gentleman in his mid-90s, and he learned to fly in the military in a J3 Cub. And on his bucket list, he wanted to fly a Cub, and so he came up, and I took him up in the Cub, and it was a ride of his life, you know what I mean? It made it for him. So it's people like that that get hurt, not myself, basically. One little tidbit about that, I think that sign is effective, and no one else can get through my property or anything. It's a locked up building, so physically an airplane or something like that can't enter the airport. So I think it's effective, and it's cost effective also. One of the things that I wanted to bring up before about the proposed fencing is a lot of these times these things get thrown out, acted on quick until you look at all the small details. But the fencing is new construction. It's done with federal money, and it has to be ADA compliant, of which the plans do not show that. And we do have a wheelchair-bound pilot at Frequency Airport. In fact, actually keeps a car up here and applies in Block Haven. We have several like that. And so that could be an issue that I feel city council or somebody should look into and see, now, what kind of added expenses is that? Can we just live with some signage when people don't comply? So that's what I'd like to bring up. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other comments?
Actually, on the same issue, Craig Care on Water Street. And mine is the question to the city council on who or whom is responsible for the security of the fence at the airport. The gate that was open for over 2 years, I asked city council on May 19th, and the response was they would look into it. is still open. June 2nd city council meeting, it was quoted, not on city property, which it absolutely is. So 2 days later, I wrote a letter to the FAA, Mr. Harner, who was dealing with the through the fence. And within 1 day, the gate was just pushed shut, not secured, but pushed shut. Then June 18th, a young lady rode onto the airport, driving around the runway taxiways to the runway, and somehow stopped herself during Sentimental Journey when there's literally 1,000 takeoff and landings that week. So then a couple airport employees are out there securing a gate. So yeah, my question is, the existing fence, they can't seem to secure or manage, and now they want to put another fence up. And we're just very skeptical with the weeds growing through that said gate that doesn't operate. So with an excess of $77,000 to the taxpayers for a gate to lock out 5 people that should be using the airport, and the airport needs us to use it. And that is a question that it doesn't ever seem to get answers, like there's no responsibility. I'm a FAA licensed certified flight instructor. I have to take a TSA security recurrent training every year. And if we see something, we have to say something. So, and it seems like you do, and it becomes a animosity, with any type of management. So, and the gate's still unsecured today.
We have anything on that? Anybody from the airport committee, Greg, anything about the gate?
Now, after Mr. Kerr brought it up at the last council meeting, the airport manager was instructed to close the fence. Since then, I personally have gone down to close the fence because pilots who go through it don't close it behind them. But I'll speak to the airport manager.
So it is the city's responsibility to secure the gate?
As far as I can tell, yeah.
Okay.
So what happens if the pilots go out and don't close it? They can't walk,
But they would say, that
then it's open,
needs to be secured.
so they need to be secured with them having access. Meaning.
When it is not a gate,
Limited amount of access to it. Or if you're not gonna close it, what do we do? What can,
That's the gate that UPS goes through.
well, they used to when it was open for 2 years. They went to it 5 times a day.
yeah,
They were the biggest users of it, but it was wide open for 2 years, over 2 years.
Now I
We're aware
think-
of that, and, we're addressing that. Okay, so going back and rehashing that doesn't do us any good.
No,
All right, so you made that clear, it was open for 2 years, fine, you're right. We're addressing that, it's the city's responsibility to make sure it's secured, and we'll do that, correct?
Yep.
Okay, thank you very much. Yes, sir, you have something else? Well, I was gonna ask for someone else. Yes, sir,
Yeah.
say your name, where you live, and what you're here about.
Ken Cooper, I live in Metropolis, Sugar Run.
Thank you.
I want to thank the city and everyone involved, on behalf of the boxing team, Coach Stout, and myself, for allowing us to run the summer showdown on Main Street. I think it was very successful. I think it was good for the city. I think it was good for the businesses. And I think we picked up a lot of fans.
Yeah, yes, I think you did, and, I think I can speak on behalf of council. We thank you for putting that event on downtown. It was fantastic. I heard nothing but praise. My Lockheed High School 40th reunion was going on that weekend, and getting people coming from all over and back to the reunion. We're just amazed at what all was happening in Lockheed, and I want to thank you for.
Well, as Coach Stout come up with this one, I can't take any credit. No. I think we can make this a yearly event if you guys will have us. You Coach will
I
have
think
us.
that would be a great thing.
We'll do our best, and we always try to help out the city, the businesses and stuff with everything we do at the college, so.
Yep.
Thank you again.
Thank you. Yes, ma'am.
Bree Brennan, 11 South Fairview Street. I know it's August and Pride was in June, but I want to thank City Council for allowing us to have Vesper closed during Pride weekend. We had over 500 people, and the feedback we got from businesses was that they were very busy with people who don't normally shop downtown. Also want to thank everybody for allowing us to have the flags in the park. That was very well received. I know there's been some animosity about flags flying on the flagpole. A lot of people asked for that. A lot of people asked for the painting on the sidewalks. This was our best second place for that, and people were very appreciative of it. So thank you for that. And also, thank you to the summer concert series. This year has been amazing. So.
I think it's gone pretty well, other than it's been over 90 degrees for the start of every one of them, except this past weekend was a great turnout and great band, so that had a lot to do with it. But this is, in my opinion, I've been involved since day one from this. It's the best lineup we've had in several years now. I don't know if my fellow committee members would agree with that.
Yeah, it's good.
Very good. So we have one more week to go. So hopefully, we have jams coming up. People that say there's nothing going on in this town just don't pay attention, because it's hard to get to everything that's happening. So thank you. Any other comments? Okay. Unfinished business 5A, consideration of the Fifth Amendment to the Central Clinton County Water Filtration Authority.
This is the agreement originally from 1993. This will be the fifth supplemental amendment to that agreement. This supplemental agreement extends the date as council approved last time, through and including the date of satisfaction of the debt service to be incurred by the Filtration Authority with Penvest on or about September 18th, 2025. That's their closing. So then the 20-year date on that would be approximately September 2020 or 2045. So this agreement would extend it to that date.
And they're aware of everything. I got some emails. It seemed like there was confusion maybe on it.
Frank corrected, Frank Maselli is the solicitor for the Filtration Authority. He corrected the language to what council agreed to. And so that's what's before you today.
Okay. I know I wasn't able to attend the last meeting. I might have been able to clear some things up, but there was confusion with them, so I apologize. Rick, did you make it to that meeting or?
I did, yeah, and but it was just a misunderstanding.
Just want to make sure we had it all clear.
Yeah.
Okay, we have a motion.
I'm losing it.
I will second.
Motion floor and a second. Any questions or comments on motion? Call for the vote, please.
Councilmember Alexander. Yeah. Councilmember Brandon. Yes. Councilmember Brinker.
Yes.
Councilmember Conklin.
Yes.
Councilmember Stevenson.
Yes.
Mayor Long.
Yes. Any other unfinished business?
I'm done, Your Honor.
Okay. New business 6A, property maintenance, grass and streets and tree trimming.
The city's property maintenance officer, Brian Taylor, happens to be here this evening, but he's provided to council and to the press memorandum about slippery conditions when you put grass clippings on roads, and also some information about tree trimming. You want to speak to that at all?
No, I just, it helps our streets and parks department, if everybody keeps the trees trimmed up high enough. And unfortunately, if the property owners aren't able or willing to do so, we may have to have the city do that, which there may be some feasible, some recouping of costs, I guess I should say, not fees necessarily.
Yeah, the city's property maintenance and code, which was adopted, does require that any vegetation be clear from the sidewalk, and that if a tree that is on your property is overhanging the sidewalk, that be 7 foot of clearance for people walking on the sidewalk.
I guess I better get my hedge trimmed on.
You're all right.
I have one that's getting a little lump.
Are we gonna start cracking down on that sort of thing?
We are.
Okay, it's because I've seen a lot of that could use some attention.
Yes, I've been spending some postage.
Okay, perfect. Thank you so much.
Thank you for bringing it forward. I know we advise, city residents in the spring when it starts to become grass season. It seems like halfway through they forget. It does cause a problem with our stormwater blockages and into the streets, so all you have to do is sweep it up and blow it back. And I think the media, I'm hoping that the media outlets that are covering us tonight almost print your letter to us verbatim because it's well read, it has information. And you can take your clippings, we have a place to recycle up at the DPW barn.
Yeah, thank you for bringing that up. I personally didn't even know that. Now, I am not a city resident, so it doesn't apply to me, but any city residents can take their yard waste to the municipal building at the top of the hill there during our normal hours.
And like Heather, I have seen a lot of recently, the last couple of weeks, it just jumps out at you. Every place you go, there they are mowing it into the street and not go by later, it's not cleaned up. And once you see it, you just notice it everywhere you go. So it's not just one resident, it's a variety of people that just, and we're a transient society here, so they come and go. Maybe they don't know the rules, but we would rather them not do that. And plus riding a motorcycle, that gets on the street and you make the turn and you're a little slippery there, so
Absolutely.
it's a safety thing too.
And in many cases, it's not even the property owner, they pay
Yeah. like a
people to do it,
long-term
and they're the ones doing it. People need to know that it doesn't matter if it's your lawn provider, you know, that comes,
It would be the
you are the one responsible. You, the property owner is the one that's gonna be popped for it, not so you need to talk to the people that you pay to do your lawn about. And it doesn't take much, I mean, back in the day when you had to take a broom and go around, clean all that. A leaf blower blows it right back in, it takes 15 minutes to walk the length of your property and blow it back in. So, it's been one of my pet peeves for a long time, and I put posts about it all the time about, you know, I appreciate you getting out there and.
We have other ways that we're gonna try and be gentle about reminding people to start. But it's in the property maintenance code.
It is.
And if you don't wanna do it because you care about people who ride motorcycles, you don't wanna do it because you don't care about getting the $1,000 fine, maybe you'll care about the fish. Because ultimately, all of those grass clippings go into the Susquehanna River and the Bald Eagle Creek to some degree, but that destroys the fish's habitat with nitrogen and phosphorus. So, I remember being in high school swimming in a river with no fish in it. And that isn't the case anymore. The color of the river is better, the life of the river is better, but we can't continue to sustain that if people continue to put grass clippings into the street that go into our storm drain and directly into the habitat of fish and kill it.
Well, and speaking on that part of it as well, we're held responsible by EEP for the amount of stuff that gets in the river from our sewage treatment plant. They just measure chemicals. So you're helping to raise certain chemicals that get into the river that they may come back and hold us responsible. So if you care about your sewer bill or your taxes, it takes a few minutes. There's, you know, at least one property owner, that section of property to clean it up. We've only got so many employees in the city. So anyway, thank you for putting the soapbox out there for me to jump on.
I have a question, just a point of clarification. First off, I walked out of several of the different wards in the morning, and there's a section in First Ward that I think has been cleared up along the sidewalk for the first time in several years, and it is so nice to come through there now. I don't have to walk in the street now, I can walk in the sidewalk, which is really great. But my question really has to do with the illustration on the letter. If it's 7 feet above the hip of sidewalk.
So the illustration is for the road, from the curb to the road.
So-
That's an illustration that I stole from PennDOT.
That's okay.
Because the streets department, mainly the street sweeper, that's what they prefer to have. Because
Okay.
it's damaging equipment.
Right, so from the edge of the street, or the surface of the street to the lowest branches should be 14 feet.
From the curb to, anywhere from curb to curb.
Right.
In the street, it should be 14 feet.
Okay,
Sidewalks are only 7.
very good.
Any other questions? All right, 6B, consideration of ordinance number 2025-05.
This is a recommendation from the city's Recreation and Parks Board to amend Chapter 346, Streets and Sidewalks, to include Article 3 on the regulation, care, and maintenance of shade trees within the city rights of way. This was requested by the city solicitor, and it outlines what we always say and what you can find in several different places, but to summarize it, the tree between the sidewalk and the curb belongs to the property owner unless the city specifically planted it as its own tree, which we keep a record of. So if you would like to know if that tree between your curb and sidewalk is the city's, we do have specific locations dating back well before the 80s that we track those trees. Some trees the city has planted are still the property owner's responsibility, but that would have been known at the time of planting. We have documentation on that. But this just cements that in, and it would be under the auspices of the subcommittee of the Rec and Parks Board, which is the Shade Tree Commission, to actually inspect and officially send out letters to people about trimming their tree.
What's the wish of council?
Move the ordinance.
I will second.
Have a motion on the floor and a second. Questions or comments on it? Call for the vote.
Councilmember Alexander.
Yes.
Councilmember Brannan.
Yes.
Councilmember Brinker.
yes,
Councilmember Conklin.
Yes.
Councilmember Stevenson.
Yes.
Mayor Long.
Yes. 6C, consideration of ordinance number 2025-06.
This also is first reading of something actually the mayor alluded to just a moment ago, and that is the quality of the river. So the discharge from the city, we have local limits that are imposed by DEP, and the engineers for the city have drawn up the amended list for this year, which you can see the existing and the amending. And so with council's adoption of this, with the engineer's recommendation, it would go into effect on second reading, which would be the next meeting of city council.
Do I have a motion?
I'll move it.
I'll second.
Motion on the floor and a second. Questions or comments on the motion? Call for the vote.
Councilmember Alexander.
Yes.
Councilmember Brannan.
Yes.
Councilmember Brinker.
yes,
Councilmember Conklin.
Yes.
Councilmember Stevenson.
Yes.
Mayor Long.
Yes. 6D, consideration of resolution number 2025-24.
This is a recommendation from the police department for council to adopt resolution 2025-23. It's an emergency services agreement between the city and Jersey Shore Area Medical Services for the provision of tactical emergency medical support, which is different than typical EMS support. And the chief of police has provided several examples where it varies from traditional enhanced medical care at high-risk incidents, access to hot zones. Traditional EMS or firefighters might be unable to respond safely inside tactical operations, and these EMS professionals are trained to do that. This would be something similar to an incident that we had a few years ago over at the second floor of the salon in the parking lot across.
Do I have a motion?
Is there a point of clarification? I'm sorry,
Go ahead.
but it looks like it says 2025-03 on it, but on the agenda it's 2025-04.
It's actually 2025-24.
Okay.
And if the mayor checks his packet, I believe that was updated in his packet. The term of the agreement would start September 1st of this year and continue for 1 year, expiring August 31st of 2026.
Then I would move resolution 2025-24.
Motion on the floor.
I will second.
And the second. questions or comments on this motion?
I'm leafing through and I don't see if there's any cost associated to us.
There is
Just a
not.
mutual aid. I guess what throws me off is the name of emergency medical services, because it's more than medical, but we have medical services. And then where does it fit into the NIMS process? That was the thing I was gonna ask the chief, but, in the hierarchy of the command structure. Sounds like Jersey Shore Emergency Medical Services will be in charge of that whole section now instead of wherever the incident occurred at. So I just had a few questions with that. Not against it. The chief highly recommended it. I read his overview of it and, so I would try it for a year until we see it doesn't work and assess it. We have to give it a chance.
Any other comments?
Quick question, how many members are on the Teams members down there? How many employees do they have or are part of it?
I do not know the answer to that question.
And is this something that our police department calls for, or if there's a situation that comes about, is that the hierarchy in that regards?
Yeah, our police would, with this agreement, be able to tap into having the Jersey Shore team come and assist if there was a medical emergency as part of their emergency response that was a high risk response. Which would be beyond the regular scope. To be honest, it's the kind of thing you would hope we'd never use. And I would say in maybe 10 years, we've had maybe 2 incidents that it may have been helpful.
So our people would trigger whether it's payment, so that answer your question, Councilor?
Yes.
Yeah, 2D says that request services from teams in the event of high potential risk law enforcement encounter is under the duties of the.
Any other questions? Call for the vote.
Councilmember Alexander.
Yes.
Councilmember Brandon.
Yes.
Councilmember Brinker.
Yes.
Councilmember Conklin.
Yes.
Councilmember Stevenson.
Yes.
Mayor Long.
Yes. 6E, consideration of resolution number 2025-25.
This is a resolution to dispose of surplus vehicles and equipment through the municipal bid process, which the city has successfully used several times in the past. This is all equipment that the city does not have the capability nor wherewithal to repair or make useful again. Quite a bit of it is the leftover traffic signals from the replacements, and also some vehicles which no longer pass inspection.
Do I have a motion on the resolution?
I move approval.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any questions or comments? Call for the vote.
Councilmember Alexander.
Yes.
Councilmember Brandon.
Yes.
Councilmember Brinker.
Yes.
Councilmember Conklin.
Yes.
Councilmember Stevenson.
Yes.
Mayor Long.
Yes. Okay, 6F, consideration of resolution number 2025-26.
Back to the filtration authority. This extends the longevity of the filtration authority, which was originally set at 50 years. This extends it for another 50 years to July 1st, 2075. That would be within the time period that it would need to be paying that loan that we discussed earlier.
Do I have a motion?
I'll move it.
I'll second.
Motion floor and a second. Any questions or comments? Call for the vote.
Councilmember Alexander.
Yes.
Councilmember Brandon.
Yes.
Councilmember Brinker.
Yes.
Councilmember Conklin.
Yes.
Councilmember Stevenson.
Yes.
Mayor Long.
Yes. 6G. Notice attachment, the Purdue opioids.
The city
Opioids settlement.
opioids. The city was I guess invited is the wrong word, but that's the easiest way to say it, to participate in the Purdue settlement for the state of Pennsylvania's opioid settlement as an individual participating municipality. There is no like dollar amount that's assigned to that right now, but it's a formal process to say the city would be interested in participating, which the city has done with the other settlements that have come through the opioid trust of the Commonwealth.
Questions? Any other new business?
I have none, Your Honor.
Anybody have anything to bring from the committees? Go ahead, Steve.
Abby, did I see that August 7th, they're gonna be working on Bellefonte Avenue, putting the new light pole standards up, so be careful when you travel where the red light is on top of the hill. At Second Avenue, that should be something until they get it done.
Yeah, we're gonna make a Facebook post just to let everyone know work will be starting again, but, I'm not really sure how long it will take, probably 1 or 2 weeks, but yeah, they'll get started putting them up.
Just wanted to.
Yeah.
Get the exposure for it, but it's getting done.
And although it's been a couple years, everyone will remember that for 30 days, you'll have both traffic signals going. So the existing ones will still be there and the new ones will go up during a test period, and then eventually the old ones will come down, but they'll all be the same color simultaneously, fingers crossed.
It's gonna look like overkill.
It will, like, we really want you to stop.
Anyone else? I hesitate to bring this up, and I'm going to, I get complaints on a regular basis. I'm really not sure whether the council members realize how many complaints I get, or even staff. I share most things. I get snail mail complaints, I get email complaints, I get text complaints, I get phone call complaints, I get people stopping me in the middle of the street complaint. And that's all good. That's what we're here for. We're here to hear it. I received one that is anonymous and has no return address and is typed up and so on. If you can't take responsibility for sending your complaint to me, then I'm available. Everybody comes to me and complains, and it's fine. I'll listen and I'll check with staff about it. But if you can't, if you're gonna go to the extent of using a Sharpie to color out your face out of the rear view mirror of your car in the picture you sent me, then don't send it. Okay? I will listen to anyone. I will address it with staff, but if you've given me the information, but this is baloney. So, does anyone have a motion to adjourn?
I motion to adjourn.
We're adjourned.